A level 9 saltwater crocodile. No way. I don't even remember what is the diamond score, but I imagine it is above 1000. You know, I've been trying to find a big saltwater crocodile in the last week, and surprisingly, apart from this guy, the biggest one I've seen was only a level 7. I haven't seen a single mythical yet, so I was not expecting to see a legendary today because my crocodile population is far from being the best. It is simply full of level 5s and 6, so finding a level 9 was something that seemed really unlikely. And I really wonder how rare these are compared to, let's say, the level 9 alligators. They seem to be fairly rare based on how many high levels I've seen, and actually compared to the other species on this map, the high scoring crocodiles feel harder to come by. So this could very well be the best trophy we have found so far on Emerald Coast. Now the question is, how are we gonna drop him? He's facing us and he's alert. So we can actually go for a brain shot right here now that he's broadside. And he's down. Not too bad. I won't get tired of saying how well done this model is. You know, all the new models are fantastic, but this one is my favorite. I mean, all the details on the skin and even the eyes are just great. So I really hope he's big enough, although the chance of it being a troll is always gonna be there. Let's see, fingers crossed. 1059.82 diamond, he's a diamond. Our first diamond crocodile on Emerald Coast. No way. Max level Rusa deer. His estimate goes up to 154, and now the question is, will he make it? That is a good question for sure. We got a diamond hawk deer yesterday, and now we may have another diamond. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if this tag doesn't make it, because from what I have seen, based on the experience of other creators, the Rusa deer seems to be another species that likes to troll a lot. Maybe not to the degree of the kangaroos, but definitely finding a level 5 is far from being a guarantee of a high enough score. Oh, look at that. I may be wrong, but I believe that level 4 was with the 5 the first time I saw it. So there's a good chance the big one is also buried right there. Shouldn't be too far from that 4. Alright, there's a hind. And I think that the big one is buried next to it. There we have it. He's roughly 90 meters out. So I'ma let him. And let's go for it. We got him, he's down. Here we have what is our first ever level 5 Rusa deer and perhaps our second diamond on Emerald Coast. He's an absolute monster, the antlers are massive, and I really hope he's big enough. Let's see. 148.88, he's a diamond, barely. You know, the diamond score is 148.78, so this guy is only 10 decimals above diamond. What a monster. Okay, this is intriguing. We have another max estimate banting track. He may be the second diamond of the hunt, so we gotta find it. Alright, there's a herd, there's a level 3 on it, and apparently the max estimate is not here anymore. So I guess we'll shoot this guy just for the money, because the bantings pay really well. It's very easy to make a lot of money hunting these guys because they are relatively easy to hunt and there are a lot of them. So definitely one of the best options to make money here on the Emerald Coast. Okay, there we have him. And that one looks absolutely massive, so I imagine it is the max estimate. Oh! Level 5! I've been really looking for one since I got early access, and finally we have the chance to drop what is my favorite species on this Emerald Coast, the banting. I simply love to hunt these big animals, mainly because the 4.7 is a thing and is one of my favorite weapons, so I really love to chase these guys and destroy them using this powerful rifle. and it seems we hit only a single long, certainly not the best shot. Now seemingly the horns of this guy are notably bigger than the horns of the level 4 diamond we got a few days ago, which makes me think that score-wise he may also be quite bigger. So let's see how big it is. 143.82 diamond, and he's a max weight. No way. A max weight diamond banting. What a monster. I assume this score is a really high score for a diamond, not really sure of what would be considered a big score, but I imagine this one is since it's a max weight, and I think it would be fair to say that this guy is the best trophy we have found so far on this Emerald Coast Early Access. And the time just got reset. And actually the worst possible time, because I was about to show you a track right here which was a max estimate mountain hare track, but as you can see it just vanished. That's very unfortunate, and it's actually something that tends to happen often on multiplayer. You know, sometimes you are tracking an animal and then the time gets reset and the whole trail disappears. So in these kind of situations, the only thing you can do is to just run around the area where you found the track initially and try to find it again. Now this seems to be the track of a hare, and it's the big one. Finally. Luckily it didn't take too long, we only spent like 5 minutes exploring the area and fortunately we managed to find it again. Now let's go see how big is this hare. Okay, there's a capercaillie, level 2. Maybe a potential diamond. We only hit him once, but we can actually hit him a second time there. And I'ma claim it. 4.41, he is nothing special. Now talking about the best strategy to chase the mountain hare is actually very simple, because currently there's a bug that affects all the rabbits and hares, which essentially causes them to start walking when they should be fleeing. I think it's a very annoying bug because of course there's no sport in tracking rabbits now, since it's incredibly easy to approach them, and it completely ruins the experience of hunting these guys in my opinion. I mean, look at that. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, no way. She's a level 3. Level 3 mountain hare. And she simply doesn't run. Like, I honestly don't feel great about killing her this way, but I need to get one with a recurve. I actually love the model of these guys, I think they look amazing. Maybe a bit more fur would make him look slightly better, but in general I think it's a very good model. And she's a diamond, 5.73. She's my second ever diamond mountain hare and my first one with a recurve, so I'm certainly really happy about getting this guy, and I'm honestly relieved to get one before Emerald Coast. Okay guys, now we're in what I think will be one of the most neglected locations once the map comes out, because there is a lake that is really far from any outposts, this one right here, and there is actually a nice location to hunt hog deer at their drink time, which is from 13 to 1700. It is simply a nice place to find them at that time, and actually, I just spotted something very cool. A level 3 Bible hog deer. A rare hog deer was one of the things I really wanted to find on this early access, so this is just amazing. I have no idea of exactly how rare these are, but I imagine they are similar to the rarity of any other Bible, maybe not as rare as the albinos and the melanistics in case this species also has them, but a Bible is a Bible, then is a rare. So I'ma drop them using the hackage. Less than 40 meters out. Already within the ideal range to use this bow, so let's go for it. Okay, he's alert. And I assumed that was a single long because he's going down, but he didn't die on the spot. Undoubtedly a very nice looking rare, the pattern is amazing, and honestly what makes it look even better is the quality of the fur. You know, the work Expansive Force has done creating all these new models is just impressive. They are by far the best models in the game, so this map is definitely gonna be one of the best ones, if not the best. And this guy is a 76.69 silver. Look at this beauty. No way. Look at that. The first time I saw it, I thought it was a female, but then I spotted him and I realized he was actually a leucistic male. Which is amazing. Like, there's no way to confuse it with a common, because here you can see a difference, and as you can see it is way lighter compared to the dark. So as soon as I saw it was a male, I was like, that's definitely a leucistic. There's no way it's not. In fact, he's the second leucistic black rose I've ever seen. We got the first one back on January, and I have to say that it's hard to believe that we're about to get our second, because these guys are rare. Like, very rare. And by the way, we spotted this guy right here, which is not too far from the area where I got the big hazel grouse. And that's not good. Apparently now they are leaving the zone because the feed time is over. So I fear, unless we can reach him before, this may be the beginning of a long chase. Now we may be in trouble because chasing birds at night is not the easiest task, and especially when the bird in question is a black grouse, because the black grouse is, in my opinion, the toughest bird to track since they are very skittish. So this is certainly looking like a tough chase. Hopefully it won't, but in case it is, I'm definitely up for the challenge. And I just hope nothing weird happens because we are on multiplayer and you know the risk of crashing or being kicked is always there. Oh, right there. It's a hen. She flew this way, and perhaps if she is part of the same flock, that may be an indicator that the whole flock will fly towards us as well. And in fact I hear him, but I don't see him. It seems they are flying the other way now, which is quite unfortunate because I really thought we were gonna have a chance here. Oh, no way. Apparently the whole flock flowed over me and I didn't see them because they weren't making any sound for some reason. And they are coming back. Alright. That's him. Finally. We just dropped our second leucistic black rose. He seems to be a bit different than the first one. I'm honestly not completely sure, but I think the pattern is different. You know, there are multiple variations for the leucistic black rose, so it's very possible. And yeah, it is in fact quite different. This one has black feathers on the back, so it is definitely a different variation, which is fantastic. The first one I got was almost entirely white except for the neck, and this one almost resembles more a piebald pattern. Frankly, it is really hard to choose between the two because they both look amazing. What are the odds? A molting mountain hare. My first ever rare mountain hare. Finding one of these is one of the reasons I keep visiting Revontuli Coast because they simply look amazing. You know, this species has 3 different fur types, being this the albino, the molting and the white, and frankly it was starting to look nearly impossible to find one since the mountain hares are really scarce, there are not too many across the map. So having the chance to get at least one of those rare variants is simply fantastic. Now this guy will probably start fleeing, but the thing with the hares is that they are currently really bugged. I mean, once they spook, they only run a few meters and then for some reason they start walking, making it incredibly easy to approach them, as you can see here. So there's honestly no sport in hunting hares at the moment. I think it's unfair and I really hope this bug gets fixed at some point. Of course, I'm not gonna waste this golden opportunity just because they are bugged. So now let's harvest this beautiful molting mountain hare. He's a 3.43 silver, which is not too big, but in this case the score is completely irrelevant because the thing that matters is that we finally have our first ever rare of the species. Now that's a thing. A level 5 hawk deer. 94 to 110 estimate, that is honestly not a promising estimate since the diamond score is 108 I believe, so unfortunately there's a chance this guy trolls, which would absolutely suck, but we gotta kill him first. and what a better way to kill it than using the new 22-250 rifle. Also, in case you're wondering, right now we're on this lake, which seems to be a decent location to hunt hog deer at their drink time, which is from 13 to 1700. As you can see, there are plenty of them here. And now let's shoot this guy, which hopefully will be our first time onto an Emerald Coast. Let's go for it. And that should do it, probably single long. He will go down in a few seconds. So now let's see if it is actually our first time onto an Emerald Coast. I really hope he's not a troll, that would be painful, but we gotta accept the possibility that perhaps he won't make it. Let's see, fingers crossed. And he's a diamond, 110.42. Our first diamond on Emerald Coast, our first diamond hog deer. He has the spotted fur type and it simply looks amazing. Not sure of exactly how rare these are, but regardless of that, the first diamond on a new map is always very special. Alright guys, we're back on single player, we're back on the Warfall grind, and as you can see, there we have the first level 3 golden eye of the grind. Finally. It was just a matter of time to find one, but it actually took quite a while, like way more than I expected, because we started this grind a month ago. So I'm really glad he finally spawned, and now the thing I wanna see is that he lands on a decent position to drop him with a recurve, because the actual goal behind this grind was to get all the diamond dogs with a recurve, and the golden eye is the only one remaining. Fortunately he landed right in front of us. And that's it. Now, in case you are wondering, right now we're hunting on this location, which is a great place to hunt golden eyes and Eurasian wigeons. It's actually one of my favorite setups and a place where I've gotten many diamonds. So with that said, I'ma shoot a few of these dogs. We got 4, although that one is gonna be hard to hit. But anyway, now let's see how big is this golden eye. His estimate was not exactly impressive, so I gotta say there's a chance he trolls, especially because the golden eyes tend to troll a lot from what I have seen, and honestly I wouldn't be surprised if this guy ends up being a major disappointment. Let's see. 1251.61 diamond, my first ever diamond golden eye with a recurve. He's a decent size level 3, and now we can officially conclude the Warfall grind here on Revontuli Coast. In about time, right before reaching 1000 kills, the first albino of the grind just spawned. I was really looking forward to see one of these guys because the albinos also got a remodel and I really wanna see how big the difference is. You know, maybe it's not a massive difference, but I would expect to see a few minor changes and hopefully some improvements. So I'ma drop him here and then we'll take a close look at the fur to see all the details. Alright, we completely missed that one. And now I'ma fast travel to this tent to claim these guys without any issue. So here we have it, the first albino of the grind. Here we can take a close look at all the details on the model. At a first glance it looks almost the same as the old albino model, except for a few details, like for example now there's some pink around the eyes as you can see. And overall the quality of the fur is way higher now. Now, as you can see, the pinkish color is way more evident on the harvest screen. I'm honestly not a huge fan of that because I prefer the albinos to be completely white, but I cannot complain since overall the model is way better now. What you're about to see is something that I spotted on the second day of early access. On that occasion I didn't have time to shoot it, so I decided to save him, and now it's time to finally hunt what I believe is a leucistic Rusa deer. You know, I think it's very clear that he's a leucistic because he looks quite different from any of the common fur types I've seen, and that greyish color is quite typical on the leucistics, so he's undoubtedly a rare Rusa deer. And by the way, right now we're on this location, which is a very nice spot to hunt Rusa deer, sambar deer, hog deer, there is also some red deer, and I believe some kangaroos as well, so it's definitely a location worth checking, and one of the places that is actually decent at pretty much any time of the day, because this map is really good to find feed zones and rest zones. There are simply many open areas, of course including this location. And he's down. Look at this. Honestly, the model is amazing. The quality of the fur is the thing that always impresses me the most, since it's one of the aspects that has received the most improvements over the last couple years, and overall this guy just looks amazing. He's our first ever rare Rusa deer and he has a score of 87.53, he's a silver, and look at this clean hard shot. A beautiful shot on a beautiful trophy. I'm pretty sure that's a Mela. I'm 99% sure that's a melanistic. I mean, actually, here you can compare them with these darks and you can clearly see that it is significantly darker. So I think it's safe to say that we're in fact looking at the first melanistic of the grind. And certainly the best part is that he's a potential gold because he's a level 4. So being this such a special trophy, I would love to drop him using a special weapon like the recurve, which is actually the weapon I plan to use on a grade 1 fallow deer if it ever decides to appear. So I'ma head over to the tripod and we're gonna call them in from there to take a few nice pictures. Okay, let's get onto a tripod. And let's make a few calls. He's coming in, about 75 meters out, and getting closer. Now he's pretty much 50 out, which is a decent distance to start taking a few nice pictures. Well, the lighting is not the best at the moment, but it's not too bad. He's 27 meters out now, we gotta get ready. And now he's getting close really fast, below 20. That's it. So here we have it, the first melanistic of the grind before reaching 2000 kills. He's actually my second melanistic fallow deer ever after the one we got a couple months ago, although this one has a chance to be a gold while the other one was a silver. So let's see if it is in fact big enough. And he's a gold, 191.72, a beautiful melanistic gold fallow deer, that's amazing. Well, that is not a diamond, but an albino kangaroo is also fantastic. You know, if you ask me to choose between a diamond and a level 3 female albino, I would honestly pick the rare hands down. I've personally never seen a rare kangaroo, so finding one of these is just amazing. You know, as far as I know, the kangaroos have 3 different rares, which are the leucistic, the melanistic and the albino, and rarity-wise, I imagine the melanistic is the rarest of all those 4 types, although the albino is probably a close second. Okay, now she's nervous. About 160 meters out. We gotta let her to make her stand up just as we did with the legendary. She's still nervous, but we're already very close, so she should go alert very soon, right there. And that was definitely viral, probably sing-along. And here we have it, our first albino kangaroo and our first rare of this species. I won't get tired of saying how well done the models of these guys are. They are impressive, really high quality, and particularly the detail on the fur of this albino is top tier, honestly. So frankly, I think it would be fair to say that this is the best trophy we have found so far on Emerald Coast. Absolutely beautiful.